discussion started. Alrighty. Let's do it.
Group sets its own ground rules. It helps the discussion move forward. It doesn't have to be an expert. What they are is they're a person who can read a group. Helps the group look at the issue from many viewpoints, helps the group talk respectfully, and doesn't join the conversation on its own.
Listen to and treat each other with respect is the first round. Does anyone hopefully want to be
You need trained facilitators for this. But in the US, a lot of them are volunteers because they love doing it. And you can get people to do it. So once the community's got some facilitators, then they're fine.
If you're offended, say so and why. It's okay to disagree, but don't make it personal. Stick to the issue. Everyone helps the facilitator to keep the discussion moving and on track. Personal stories stay in the circle and let the group decide it's okay to tell others.
They built a wonderful highway with the snowy mountains to cut all the stuff up there that they made power stations and things out of, but it changed the whole dynamics of that particular neighbourhood. They also put in a aerodrome with flights by commercial airlines as well as others. So it really changed the way everything worked. Since then I've lived in many neighbourhoods. I've been the principal of about 7 different schools in my career.
My parents had different mixed businesses, milk bars as they were back then before Safeways came along. So I moved around a fair bit around came up to Maryborough by chance and a bit of choice.
So my community is a bit like that. There's some good stuff happening and there's not so good stuff. It's still a bit of a rich community. But it's I find it really interesting. I also find the country really interesting.
I'm going to blend a couple if I could. One thing is describe an experience that made you feel connected to the neighbour. Sorry if I jumped.
No, that's fine.
I just thought of where I lived in Croydon, where I grew up, and what I would like to see could be up here to change that.
One other thing, with the groups working, okay, what happens, this is the facilitator. What we normally do, because we're used to it, is we take turns talking like this. And that's quite okay. But an ideal circle, all of a sudden, the dialogue, instead of going in a row, will start to go like this. And that is fine. That is okay. And all you're doing as a facilitator almost can sit back a bit. Just so long as everybody's got space and room. If somebody hasn't talked for a while, or somebody's talking too much, the group realises that, the facilitator might come in and say, well, okay, I've got that view. This is why the skill of the facilitator, I'm putting you in the situation. It's not easy to do, but that's the role. And the group owns the rules. So therefore, as a facilitator, you're not saying to them what to do, it's their ground rules. So all you're doing is reiterating what they've decided upon. What did you hear? Crisscross.
Instead of going turned out and being very polite.
Okay.
You heard everyone's opinion.
Very good. Heard everyone's opinions.
We had dialogue, not that we weren't looking for an action at all. We weren't expecting an action, but we got an action.
Yeah.
Which was our act on.
Perhaps you so set in your ways that you think, oh, we've just got to follow a format that we're used to doing. So this is a very new process, and so therefore it takes time to feel free to do what you need to do and say what you need to say. But it's a good process. It's just that you've got to unlearn some learning some skills you've learned that aren't necessarily the best ones.
Very good. Can anybody else feel that?
Yep. You hear the other side of something, maybe you're dead set on that this is what needs to be happening, and then when you hear it the other side, the different way, you kind of see, well, maybe you could kind of change this and this to work it so that both plans can work together.
Well said.
One of our